How smart men date and keep attraction without playing games. Most men don't lose attraction because they're not good enough. They lose it because they don't know how to maintain it. Everything starts well. The conversations are good. The energy is there. She's responsive, interested, engaged. But then something changes. Her replies get slower. Her energy becomes inconsistent. The excitement starts fading. And that's when most men make the biggest mistake. They start trying harder. They text more. They explain more. They try to fix the situation. And without realizing it, they slowly push her away. Because attraction is not maintained by effort alone. It's maintained by how you move over time. Smart men understand this. They don't play games. They don't manipulate. But they also don't overextend themselves trying to hold attention. They move with awareness. And in this video, you're going to understand why attraction fades in the first place, the mistakes most men make after things start going well, and how to maintain attraction naturally without chasing or playing games. Because the goal is not just to get her interested. It's to keep the dynamic strong without losing yourself in the process. 1. They don't change who they are once they get her attention. Most men are at their best in the beginning. They're confident. They're relaxed. They're not overthinking. But once they start liking her, everything changes. For example, at the start, you were calm and natural. But after a few good conversations, you begin to think, I need to keep this going. I don't want to lose her. So you start adjusting. You text more often. You try harder to be interesting. You become more available. In real life, this shift is subtle but noticeable. Smart men don't do this. They remain consistent. If they were calm at the beginning, they stay calm. If they had boundaries, they keep them. Because they understand. Attraction was built on who you were, not who you're trying to become now. 2. They don't over-communicate to maintain connection. One of the biggest mistakes men make is thinking more communication equals stronger connection. So they text all day, send long messages, try to keep conversations alive constantly. But in reality, this creates pressure. For example, you send a message, then another, then another. Try to keep things active. In real life, this makes the interaction feel forced. Smart men understand that connection doesn't need constant maintenance. They allow conversations to pause naturally. Don't force replies. Don't feel the need to fill every silence. Because they know attraction grows in space, not constant pressure. 3. They observe changes instead of reacting immediately. Attraction doesn't disappear instantly. It fades through small changes. Slightly slower replies. Less enthusiasm. Reduced effort. Most men react too quickly. For example, she replies late once, you start overthinking. She seems a bit distant. You try to fix it immediately. So you ask what's wrong. Increase your effort. Try to bring back the old energy. Smart men don't rush to react. They observe patterns. If something changes, they give it time. In real life, this prevents unnecessary mistakes. Because not every small change means something is wrong. And reacting too fast often creates problems that didn't exist before. 4. They match energy instead of chasing it. This is one of the most important principles. Most men try to maintain high energy regardless of what they receive. She becomes less responsive. They become more active. She pulls back. They push forward. Smart men do the opposite. They match. For example, if she responds with energy, they match it. If she becomes distant, they reduce their effort. In real life, this creates balance. Because now, you are not carrying the interaction alone. And that balance keeps attraction alive. 5. They don't seek constant reassurance. Many men need to feel secure at all times. So they look for signs. Does she still like me? Why didn't she reply fast? And when they don't get reassurance, they create it. For example, asking too many questions. Try to get validation indirectly. Overanalyzing every interaction. Smart men don't operate like this. They're comfortable with uncertainty. In real life, this shows emotional strength. Because you don't need constant confirmation to feel stable. 6. They keep their life as the priority. One of the biggest attraction killers is losing your focus. When a man starts centering his life around a woman too early, his routine changes, his priorities shift, his attention becomes consumed. Smart men don't do this. For example, even if things are going well, they continue their work, their goals, their personal development. In real life, this creates independence. And independence is attractive because it shows you have a life outside of the interaction. 7. They don't force clarity, they allow it to reveal itself. Most men want quick answers. They want to know, where is this going? What does she feel? So they try to force clarity through conversation. But smart men understand something different. Clarity is shown through behavior over time. For example, instead of asking directly, they observe. Does she invest? Does she make time? Does she show consistency? In real life, this gives you real answers, not temporary words. 8. They're willing to walk away from imbalance. This is where everything comes together. Most men stay too long in situations that are clearly unbalanced. They accept inconsistency, ignore low effort, keep hoping things will change. Smart men don't chase balance. They require it. For example, if the effort is not mutual, they don't argue or complain. They step back. In real life, this shows self-respect. And self-respect is one of the strongest attraction triggers. At the end of the day, dating is not just about attraction. It's about maintaining the right dynamic over time. And that's where most men struggle. Because getting attention is one thing. Keeping it without losing yourself is something completely different. What usually happens is simple. You meet someone. There's interest. There's excitement. But as that interest grows, so does your attachment. And as your attachment grows, your behavior begins to change. Not in a dramatic way, but in small, almost invisible ways. You start thinking more before you act. You start caring more about how she responds. You start adjusting yourself to keep things going. And over time, those small adjustments begin to shift your position. You move from being someone she is naturally attracted to someone who is trying to maintain that attraction. And that shift is what changes everything. Because attraction is not just about what you do. It's about how your presence feels. If your presence feels calm, stable, and controlled, it creates comfort and interest. But if your presence feels like it's trying to hold something together, it creates pressure. And pressure slowly pushes people away. This is why smart men don't focus on doing more. They focus on staying the same. They understand that what created attraction in the beginning is what needs to remain consistent over time. They don't suddenly become more available. They don't suddenly become more reactive. They don't suddenly make the interaction their main focus. They stay grounded. And because they stay grounded, they don't lose themselves in the process. They don't overthink every message. They don't react to every small change. They don't feel the need to fix everything immediately. Instead, they observe. They give things time. They allow people to reveal who they are through their actions. And that patience creates clarity, because over time, patterns become obvious. You see who is consistent. You see who invests. You see who aligns with you. And once you see that clearly, you don't need to chase. You don't need to guess. You don't need to force anything. You simply choose. And that's the real shift. From reacting to choosing. From trying to keep someone to deciding if they should stay. And when you operate from that position, everything changes. Your interactions become lighter. Your decisions become clearer. Your energy becomes more attractive. Because now, there is no pressure behind what you do. There is no need to prove anything. There is no urgency to hold on. There is just clarity and control. And that's what keeps attraction alive. Not effort alone. Not constant communication. Not trying to be perfect, but moving with awareness, consistency, and self-respect over time. Because in the end, the goal is not just to start something strong. It's to maintain it without losing who you are. And once you understand that, you stop trying to keep attraction alive, and you start living in a way that naturally sustains it. Follow for more if you want to understand women better.